Have been found after 20 years, yet some still remain missing. My heart is truly heavy today to know my very own sister that left behind a loving mother that grieved herself to death to want her daughter home, a father that tries every day to raise his kids right, loving daughters that now have kids of their own, and nieces and nephews that don't even know your aunt, but we have to tell them about her because that's the only legacy that she's going to carry on. Well, the whys and the hows and the what-ifs still go unanswered. And then there's her grandchildren. They'll never know her, not when she comes home. And our dream today is to bring Debra home. There are some days that seem very harder than others, but every day we live in hope that she will one day come home to us. I never lose hope, nor will I lose the faith that one day somebody, something will break in her case, and we can know the real truth. There has been many speculation, but nothing has been proved. Only the article read, Debra Jean Asbury was last seen walking on West Side Drive towards Fifth Avenue in Mason, North Carolina. She was wearing a white sweatshirt, blue jeans with white Reebok shoes. Debra weighed 140 pounds and was 69 inches tall when she went missing. Black hair, brown eyes, and medium complexion. She has her ears pierced and her navel pierced. Birthmark on her right leg near her calf. Wears several rings, one with the word love on it, and another one is a black eye. Debra went missing on September 26th of 1994, which was 21 years ago today, and has never been seen again. If I could say anything right now to my sister, I would have to tell her, sis, you've been gone way too long, and our hearts are heavy, but your legacy lives strong. I love you and I miss you, and wish you dearly, dearly, please come home. And last but not least, I would like to thank my nieces Samantha and Courtney Probst, Jessica, my sister Julie, because without them today would not have been possible. And then we turn to these men that every day they serve their life to protect us. Mr. Bandel has worked long nights, has gotten with our family on anything that has happened in Debra's case. And I thank you guys. I thank you for your service and your support. I thank you for everything that you've done for our family. And most of all, I can say to my family and my sisters and my brothers, if we want to bring Debra home, one little balloon release every year is not going to hurt anybody. And maybe one day, because of one balloon release, somebody will see that flyer. I walked with Samantha all week long. I rode a bus, passing out flyers. Got Courtney to call Mr. Bandel. Courtney called people, I called people, and with one little voice, we got our voice heard. These men don't have to be out here in the cold today, but they came because they're dedicated to their job. The men that couldn't be here today was because they had an emergency situation, but I still thank God for the two that stand here with us today. Because if it wasn't for them and the other ones that's worked on our case, we wouldn't know anything. But I do want to tell my family, my brothers and my sisters, and most of all my daddy, Jessica. I fought all week to have this event. And I did this because we need to find Debra. This is 21 years. I remember back maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years, there was 3 girls found after 21 years of being missing. Just found. Nobody had seen them the same as Debra. So I said to myself, maybe one little voice could be heard. And this and every year, if I have to do this on my own, I will. And I thank all of y'all for helping me get here. I went down to the dispatch and I told the man, I said, I'm having an event for my family, even though it may not be the biggest event that I wanted it to be. But with these balloons, I know I still have hope that Debra will come home. That man told me, he said, Miss Sarah, don't worry about nothing. I will see what I can do. 2 days later, he called me. We got front page on the dispatch again for Debra. I didn't tell anybody because I wanted to surprise y'all with Mr. Bandel being here. Nope, none of y'all knew that. Because they care. I care. And we should all care for Debra. I will turn the floor to Courtney and then Mr. Bandel. I just want y'all to know I love y'all and we need to fight to get Debra.
years ago today, my mom disappeared. Although I never got the chance to know her, I have had the chance to meet her family, and from them I've heard many stories about her. From beach trips to her dukes of hazzard in her car, even down to her being the glue that held this family together. But out of every story, I learned that she loved her family and she loved her kids, and they always came first. The Lord knows how much I miss her as each day goes by, and I know in my heart she did not give up and leave us behind. I will never give up nor lose hope in bringing her home, as each day is never easy and the hurt always stays. My love for her is always greater than that and will always stay. John Bendel.
Thank you all for inviting me. I feel very honored that you guys would even consider me to come down here. As far as I'm concerned, this is still an open case. I know a lot of people don't see what DA's offices do, but I can tell you, I spent a lot of time thinking of ways to bring this case to justice, and to find out what happened to your loved one. I do want to say this, I work lots of cases in different states, and I've never had the kind of outpouring of support that you guys have in this particular case. This is, I'm not dealt with this in any way, shape, or form. For the first time, I called you guys in to talk with you and introduce you. It was 24 hours later, we had 50 people in the room, and I told you what I had planned on doing. And folks, I want you to know that as far as I'm concerned, this is not a cold case. As long as someone keeps, holding a lit torch and doing everything they can, it'll never go forward. The fact that you guys are all here, this is an amazing thing. And I want you all to know that every thought, every process, every card that I can possibly play to help you folks out, I will do it, and I will continue to do it. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. And anything I can do to bring justice to you guys, I'm going to do it. I just want to say thank you all for inviting me here, and my heart goes out to all of you. And I know probably a lot of you don't see the interaction between the DA's office and law enforcement, but LPD in this case, absolutely everything I've done has gone from the chief through down to the patrol officers. They know what's going on, and I know there's a lot of bad things get said about law enforcement, especially lately, but you guys are lucky to have such a good, dedicated group of people at the Lexington Police Department who have never given up hope. Lieutenant Scarborough, Detective Thompson, those guys, we've had dozens and dozens and dozens of meetings and hours spent figuring out what to do. And I just want y'all to know that, at least from our perspective, I will continue and they will continue to do everything we possibly can to bring justice to you guys. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sergeant Chad Wilkie with the Lexington Police Department. First of all, folks, as he just said, words can't describe what has happened to you folks for the last 21 years. On behalf of the police department, this is an open case. This case will never be closed until Debra is brought home. Any leads that we get, those leads will be investigated. Those leads that Mr. Vandal said will be followed through with him. I've worked many hours in detectives. I've worked hand in hand with Detective Thompson that was working on this case. Any new leads that we get are followed through with 100%. And I admire you folks for being out here 21 years later, because the only way a lot of cold cases, older cases, are solved is based upon exposure. Getting this on the front page of the Dispatch. Maybe somebody that moved away many years ago reads that and says, I saw something that day. He gives us that one tip that brings them home. Again, thank you folks for having me here today. The police department will not quit until she is brought home. Now we'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, being as that it's raining, I don't know who. I'm going out there in that field, and I'm going to let this balloon go to my sister. And y'all can make a decision. If you want to walk out there, you can walk out there. It's raining. I don't care how much it's raining. I'm going out there. And I'm gonna let this balloon off for my sister, and I'll do it now and every chance that I get until we bring her home. Who wants to go out there and let this balloon off?
Hey, you take that one and
Yes, sir.
Or you go, stay at 3 and you walk up there. Have that whole list. You can sit down right here now.
You're gonna hold this.
Here, hold.
Oh, I'm going in. Yeah.
If you don't want to go, you don't have to.
You know them. Water does not bother me.
Don't let it go yet.
Hold it.
Don't let it go until they tell you to, okay?
Go that way. Everybody just line up and.
Don't let it go until they tell you to, okay? Go,
Okay,
Rhonda.
Jessica.
Go over there. Go over there.
Me. Courtney, get mine. Get this one.
I need more. Sam! Where's Sam? Mark! Okay.
So you got Rose?
I got mine.
We got 3 more.
I got some of you too. At least you don't know Courtney. At least she's got one. We don't know who Courtney's got one.
I don't want to leave him in here. You need to
I told my family. Where's the drinks from?
You don't have a balloon.
I got Judy.
Hey, who don't have a balloon?
Lay them right here till you come back.
Okay, hey guys, we're gonna try to get out as far as we can because there's trees and stuff, and we don't want no problems with the city as far as getting balloons all in the trees. Let's go, Sam. Go, George. Hey, over here to the left, guys.
I don't know how to do it. Which way or.
All right, here we go, guys. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Jeremy, this is for you, buddy.
It's full. Now they care.